season finale of Death Battle Ash versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Lazy. If I had to pick one, I had to go with Ash Lazy. Because if you guys don't know already, Lazy, that I am still reading Yu-Gi-Oh! Lazy. I'm reading the Yu-Gi-Oh! manga, Lazy, and so far I'm having a blast reading the manga so far, Lazy. It's absolutely chaotic, crazy, Lazy, but I absolutely having a blast reading the manga, Lazy, because I was going with my boy Ash Ketchum, Lazy, because honestly I grew up with Pokemon, Lazy. I absolutely love Ash Ketchum as a character, Lazy, and of course the old classic Pokemon, Lazy, the show, so it's so good! Ball, Lazy, I was going with my boy Ash, Lazy. Lazy, I'm so sorry to see how this battle is supposed to go about, Lazy. Lazy, I don't want any anime footage, Lazy. It looks right up on us, Lazy. So today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you my reaction to Death Battle Ash versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Lazy. Once again, Lazy, I will leave it. What's your link in the description below, Lazy. Let's get started. Oh, here we go!
Right, Pikachu?
Don't get ahead of yourself.
I'm ready to get started now!
Ash Ketchum versus Yugi Moto.
Yeah!
The biggest question from the playground: Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh? He's with my boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons,
For the
armor,
finale,
and skills to find out
this is
who
a
would win
perfect way to
a
end
death
off,
battle.
Lazy. Here we go!
Hello there. Welcome to the world of Pokemon.
Oh, the kids get their
Whoever wants
first
to
one at
be
age
the
10.
very
If
best,
you don't sleep
like
in
no
like
one
Ash Ketchum
ever
from Pallet Town.
Ash wanted to be a Pokemon master, though he didn't really know what that meant yet.
How about taking down your
dude, I
rivals to be
really
the
love
very
the old
best, like
Pokemon
no
show,
one ever
dude.
was?
The old
Better than
anime was
Gary and
so
his dumb
good.
groupies.
Well, Ash knew
Love
he'd
it.
find his answers at the Pokemon League tournament.
So Oak hooked him up with the electric mouse, Pikachu.
Pika,
And
Pika.
wait, he's your problem now, stupid.
Pikachu was a lot. The new duo had a rocky start, but after an intense first day together, the rest, as they say, is history.
25 seasons, over 1,200 episodes, and the cornerstone of 2000s culture. Ash spent decades as a 10-year-old on the great Pokemaniac journey.
We should note, we are prioritizing the anime that Ash is from, which often differs from the original games that inspired it.
Oh, okay.
Ash is equipped with
So
tons of
okay,
Pokeballs
gotcha.
and an all-knowing Pokedex. That's also a Pokemon.
Yeah?
But in a fight, Ash usually chooses Pikachu. Give the yellow-red enough voltage and you'll regret it. Even ground
I think the
types
last
that would be
Pokemon
immune
game
to
I
electric
played
attacks in the games
was
can't
Pokemon
stop with this
Diamond.
Pikachu dishes
That was
out.
on
Yet
DS.
somehow Ash is just fine after repeatedly getting zapped by this same electricity. Over time, Pikachu learned Volt Tackle, Electro Web, Electro Ball, and
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt! The
Hey,
perfect
Pikachu,
attack
use
for Oko and
Thunderbolt!
flamboyant thieves and
Yeah,
air balloons.
dude,
Looks like they're blasting off again.
so clearly the anime doesn't follow the game rules. Like when Pikachu shot himself with his own thunder while on Swellow, who, you know, is vulnerable to lightning.
But somehow they used thunder as a super armor. He even learned how to
Oh.
deflect attacks by just spinning really fast. Whee!
Speaking of fast, Pikachu has
Pikachu's
intercepted
doing
lightning,
breakdance move,
but
baby.
Quick Attack increases that speed even more.
And his Iron Tail really pairs well with Ash's offensive style. The guy plays crazy, opting for big damage over stalling.
Ash's style is so unusual that when a robot scanned his tactics, it exploded.
As the great philosophers put it, if it works, is it still stupid?
Ash and Pikachu's bond is magnetic and brought them new allies, Misty, Brock, Serena,
dude.
just to name a few. Underneath the stubbornness
I
and
did
crispy
watch
bites,
the new
they are loyal
Pokemon.
friends.
Just
Like
like
this
Ash's Pokemon.
Pokemon.
They're not just collecting
It
dust in a
was
shiny
good.
hunting box. Ash's
I really
league
enjoyed
ID
new
won't let him
episodes of
carry more
Pokemon.
than 6 at a time, but if he needs them, they'll all
haven't
come
finished
running.
all of
Water
the
types like
Pokemon because they
Squirtle and
released new
Lapras are key
Pokemon.
in seafaring fights, and Ash can combine
But
their
I would
water
love
attacks
to
with
see
Glalie
that the
Ice
new
Beam.
Pokemon
One
show.
time, his weasel got frozen
Some
while
of them
using
really
Aqua
enjoy
Jet,
it.
which is fine. Now he's using Ice
It's
Aqua
like
Battering Ram.
Dyma.
Grass
Like,
types
a lot
like
of people
Bulbasaur and
really
Torterra
love
induce
Dyma, which I
status
want to
effects
get
and
into
heal
so
with
badly.
synthesis.
But Sceptile's a menace. Yeah, so you got a big, scary Darkrai. Eat this leaf blade, Smeargle victim! Or that's what I would say if Tobias did an action replay of frickin' Latios. Give my man a win, 4Kids.
Well, 4Kids just did the localization. They didn't write the show.
They just get me heated. Almost as much as Infernape's Flare Blitz. Then I'll set my Inferno to overdrive, get my
I can't stop
revenge,
thinking about the
and
Pokemon. I
Incineroar.
want these. It's War!
Had a fiery for reaching the top ASAP, but Charizard wasn't on board. Pursuing pride over packs, Ash lost the Viridian Force for the trees and fumbled the Indigo League.
Harsh lesson, but one he needed. Ash started bonding with Pokemon at a deeper level, and that friendship motivated them to dodge light speed moves like Solar Beam and Side Beam.
Charizard came around too. He's the last one you want to see on the field. Even if you have a Blastoise like Gary, Ash will call for the most unexpected signature move.
Seismic Toss! The people's elbow of Pokemon. Charizard's so strong, his flamethrower melts boulders. The Pokemon world is wild.
Ash's Pokedex spells it out. Vanillix causes blizzards. Magikarp leaps over mountains and into space. Dusknoir pulls souls into the spirit world.
Oh, and Pikachu cleared a storm as wide as an island. Gotta catch 'em all.
I love
Surfetch, Butterfree, Heracross, Scraggy, Lycanroc, Palpitoad, Torkoal, Snivy.
With new regions, soar new flying types like Pidgeot. On land, Ash has physical offense like Melmetal and Crocodile. Gibble will drop Draco Meteors on anyone, but mainly Gibble.
You want physical? Look at Ash. This twerp somehow carried around a Cosmoem, which canonically weighs over a ton. Oh, and this huge log that's basically a whole tree, he chucked it like it was nothing. Ash can choose his own hands if he wants, and he does a lot. Maybe his secret is watching the Minnesota Vikings.
Resilience is the bare minimum to HMO1 cut it in the tall grass. Humans and Pokemon must protect and enrich each other's lives.
Like Mimey, the Mr. Mime back home who mind boggles you with Reflect, Light Screen, and Psychic. Yep, that Mr. Mime, the stepdad who Ash caught in a Pokeball and brought home. Oh, so that's how it works.
Ash figured out new ways to bond with his pals with Aura. It's a life force that interacts with souls and links Ash with Lucario.
This Jackal excels at CQC and shoots steel beams and aura spheres. And with Mega Evolution, Lucario's power surges enough to defeat champion Cynthia's Garchomp.
A Mega would have been handy at the Solari's Day when Ash accidentally caught 30 Tauros. And he keeps hugging them. Ash, they're bulls.
Ash genuinely loves his little guys, but boy does it suck to see him lose the Pokemon League over and over again. Kid, just turn the hat backwards and lock in.
Ash's strength is not in battle theory, but his nurtured bonds. He knows Pokemon feelings better than anyone. With Greninja, Ash learned to synchronize their senses and movements, transforming him into Ash Greninja.
It comes with a huge power increase, but there's a catch. Ash shares Greninja's pain. A small price to pay for the ultimate water shuriken.
Ash Greninja ran the ones with Champion Diantha's Mega Gardevoir. And just a normal Gardevoir can conjure black holes.
Ash's Pokemon and teamwork get along like rice balls and jelly-filled donuts. They saved the world from Lysander, who tried to kill all life. They fought the giants. The Reggie kind, not the New York ones, who halted Regigigas, who can tow entire regions.
Ash's team battled Steven Stone and Alon, who fought the terraforming primal forms of Groudon and Kyogre.
Don't get me started on Alon. Ash did everything right, but no, Greninja still lost to his Charizard after only getting hit 3 times. How does Blastburn beat Water Shuriken? Get your type charts right, poor kids.
Poor kids weren't even around anymore when this aired.
I can
Regardless,
see why,
after his
because
loss at
that
Kalos,
episode,
Ash traveled to Alola and beyond to train.
good.
And thanks to some really delicious soup, his new Gengar, Gigantamax.
Hi, new Gengar! He haunts foes with G-Max Terror, or even swallows them up. I bet it smells nasty in there.
Ash and Pikachu also scored a buff with their Z move. All they need is a power ring, some JoJo poses, and Thunderbolt will evolve into
10 million volt Thunderbolt. This Rainbow Lightning is their ace. You see this coming? You're cooked. Absorb electricity? Cooked. Fused with an Ultra Beast? Cooked.
Ash journeyed so much that monsters from another dimension are nothing to him. Naganadel is a poisonous sniper, and Solgaleo is basically the sun god, a legendary Pokemon whose Sunsteel Strike lights up the universe.
Ash got a god in his bag for just being a nice dude. Smell you later, Gary.
In fact, when Ash and friends band together, they can halt Dialga's Roar of Time. And Dialga literally controls the concept of time. Is there a legendary Pokemon he hasn't befriended?
But it all started with Pikachu, so it was gonna end with Pikachu. In the Tournament of Champions, and Alon, Ash faced the #1 trainer. Finally, after 3,000 years,
this
we're
episode
free.
was
Let my boy win.
amazing.
Sure. Ash did his best, and he had no regrets. Now free to hand over his torch to new bright-eyed trainers.
Ash realized that to him, a Pokemon Master was someone who was friends with every Pokemon. So he and Pikachu threw a stick in the air and walked the way it landed, because in the world of Pokemon, the journey continues.
So good. Oh, dude. Alright, it's time for you.
Many a theorist have tried to solve the mystery of ancient Egypt. What was the secret to such a glorious civilization?
Time travel? The divine hand? Aliens? Nah, they were gamers.
Egyptians played games with sorcery. These magical ceremonies punished dark hearts with swift death. The Shadow Game.
No, Wiz. They were banished to the Shadow Realm.
Sadly, the way of the Shadow Games was lost across time and the pieces of the Millennium Puzzle. It said the one who solves the puzzle would pass judgment on evil. And in the modern day, Yugi reassembled it and wished for a friend.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Turn that jam up! Yugi was a shy kid that helped run his grandpop's game shop.
But little did he know that completing the puzzle would link his spirit to an ancient pharaoh.
Yami, always willing to lend Yugi a hand, and always on demon time while doing so. He's anime Jigsaw. Yami wants to play a Shadow Game.
He does not play around.
Riddle Air Hockey, Mario Party with Chloroform, or the game that would take his world and ours by storm. Duel Monsters.
It's a summoner's war. Time to send monsters to the graveyard and take your foe down to 0 life points.
When Yugi's grandpa was kidnapped by the deranged CEO Seto Kaiba, Yugi knew it was time to knock him down the only way he knows how. Playing a children's card game.
And for his L, Kaiba was given a penalty game. Lose or cheat against Yami at your own peril. With the puzzle, Yami can punish you in some seriously messed up ways. Illusions of being set on fire, swapping your soul, or the infamous Mind Crush.
The Millennium Puzzle does far more than force hallucination. It brings monsters to reality, forms barriers, manipulates probability, and seals away spirits.
You can't buy this. It and 6 other Millennium items are juiced up by ghosts.
Despite Yami's retribution, Yugi wasn't aware of this darker half. Yami had amnesia, so he didn't know himself either. But after a run-in with enemy Millennium Ring user Dark Bakura and some seriously hardcore LARPing, Yugi and Yami learned each other's shtick and made the dynamic duo.
With friends Taya, Tristan, and their left leg Joey, Yugi and Yami were ready for anything.
Because Yugi had a great early deck. Monsters for offense, spells for effects, and traps for setups. Oh, and Exodia.
I love the artwork for the cards.
There they go.
Okay, if Yugi's deck is so good, why isn't it the meta? Put me in, coach. Face my 2,000 card deck.
Don't be too quick to judge. Yugi's a very clever strategist. His style works best at maximizing the use of so-called terrible cards.
Yeah, cool story, Wiz. But what's he gonna do about the 3 blue eyes Kaiba's got in his dome?
Simple. Summon the monster card Karibo and have him multiply. With a 1,000 strong meat shield, a dragon's breath is a gentle breeze.
Well, okay. Didn't know Yugi had that dog in him. But I'm about brute force. Buster Blader and Celtic Guardian are sick, nasty swordsmen. Summon Skull shoots bolts of lightning. And the giant soldier of stone can destroy moons.
Time Wizard's better. It's a living clock that fast-forwards or rewinds a local area of time, turning monsters to infants or wizards into wise sages.
Speaking of wizardry, you can't have a Yugi deck without his right hand, Dark Magician, and his apprentice, Dark Magician Girl.
Both are masters of dark magic, and Yugi often pairs them with the damage redirecting magic cylinder. Now that's thinking with portals.
There's support monsters too. Catapult Turtle is a bot with a cannon that literally launches other monsters. And when Yugi comboed it with Gaia and Swords of Revealing Light, which immobilizes monsters, he brought down an entire fortress. Wait, that's not how the card game works. Is he cheating?
We're prioritizing the manga and anime over anything else, which can differ from the real-world card game.
Yugi also has tons of spell cards. Monster Reborn resurrects a fallen friend. Turn Jump is a time skip. And Pot of Greed lets Yugi draw 2 more cards, like Pot of Greed, which lets him draw 2 more cards, like...
If things get dicey, he has more trap cards to level the field, like Dimension Sphinx, which reflects damage directly back at the opponent's life points.
And if his monsters and life points get wiped, he can just press Ctrl-Z with Mirage Ruler to get them all back.
Pair these cards with Yugi and Yami's teamwork, and nothing could stand in their way. Not even the game's own creator, Pegasus.
Get this, Pegasus can read minds. So in their duel, Yugi and Yami kept swapping souls Freaky Friday style, trusting each other to pick up on the strategies they left behind. And the mind reader was stumped. Yeah, they cheated.
No, Pegasus was reading their minds. Regardless, Yugi and Yami are an excellent dueling pair. Yami trusts Yugi to improve on his plans, while Yugi expects Yami to be his bolder half.
They're not just smart. These card-slinging geeks are somehow expected to be fit enough to dodge lasers, resist getting their souls ripped out, and survive attacks from duel monsters. Even the most common duel monster can cause tsunamis, rain down meteors, and wreck cities.
And all of this power culminated in Battle City, hosted by Kaiba Corp.
Because Kaiba really wanted that salty run-back against his rival.
Only surpassed by Yami's biggest hater, Merrick, who wanted the 3 Egyptian god cards to take him out. These cards were Slifer, the Electric Dragon, Roth, the God Phoenix, and Obelisk, who strikes with the power of infinity.
This was a different ball game altogether, but Yugi was starting to stand on his own 2 feet.
So Yami and Yugi kept dueling on in a battle city that never wants to end, or stop bullying Joey. But to claim the Egyptian gods, Yugi and Yami had to face them in duels, pulling off some ridiculously high IQ plays.
When battling Slifer, they used a handful of weak cards to create an infinite combo of attacks that went past the god's limits.
And later, Yugi combined Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl's magic into Black Burning magic.
It's not fair!
This ain't new for the magicians. In the movie Bonds Beyond Time, they did something similar against Paradox. It's kind of crazy that together, the magicians can defeat the 10-star gods, which are way stronger than mid-tier monsters that are 5 to 9 stars.
Mid-tier cards aren't pushovers. Darkhold Dragon is a sentient black hole, planet alignment moves solar systems, and Jaden's Glow Neos destroyed a relativity field that spawned an entire universe.
But at the top would be the great evil god Zork, who showed up to plunge existence into the realm of darkness. It was time for Yugi to finish the puzzle of who Yami really is.
If the monsters weren't real before, they sure were now. Everyone has soul energy, Ba, which manifests as Ka, or a spirit. When used in tandem with the bonds of his cards, Yugi can will duel monsters into reality, even drawing anyone he wishes by believing in the heart of the cards.
I knew it! He's been cheating all this time! He doesn't just make up rules, he's stacking his deck!
Not at all. For Yugi, drawing the card he needs isn't just luck, it's an actual skill that he developed. It's even expanded in following series like GX and 5Ds.
Okay, well, I'd be the king of games too if I could just decide I have a royal flush every round.
Whatever. Yami rediscovered his Egyptian past, his multiple lifelong bonds, and his real name, Atem. Claiming his place as the ruler of the afterlife, Atem fused the Egyptian god cards to summon Harakti, the creator of light.
She's the ultimate duel monster who banished Zork and all of his scary darkness for good. The epitome of I win.
No kidding. For Harakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's multiverse with that same light. Judgment had passed. Across many duels, evil was vanquished. There was only one more thing left to do.
A post-game boss duel between Yugi and Atem.
Their farewell was both climactic and bittersweet. Yugi had grown as a duelist and a person. His victory proved that he no longer needed Atem's help to be his bolder half.
Even when Atem was an entire dimension away or busy slapping the end of existence, he and Yugi would always be bros. Okay, it should have been me, not him. I'm sorry I called you a cheater. I was jealous. You're so cool.
Yugi moved on to a career in game design and passed the torch to future duelists. He would be remembered as the greatest duelist there ever was.
Except to Kaiba, who tried to ascend to the afterlife to rematch Atem. Goes to show you that money can't buy you happiness, but it sure can buy you a sweet rocket ship.
There will always be another story, another duel, another game. And you won't find yourself a better opponent than the king of games.
Definitely got some spoiler. Alright, dude.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
Bioffore we start, let's play some ground rules.
We're treating this as a real-time fight, much like typical battles in the Pokemon anime and duels later on in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. And given that the rules of Pokemon and duel monsters are clearly incompatible, we'll allow them to summon anything that's reasonably available to them.
It's time
Alright, come on, I got this! Oh boy, it is time! Season finale, baby! Ah! Look already! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Nice, nice! Come on, Pikachu!
You okay, Pikachu? This 4-on-4 is tricky. Hang in there!
You have Spirit, but I have Lightning Blade and Excalibur to boost my attack. And I put one card face down to end my turn.
Whoa! Okay,
Come on, Ash!
it's
You
our
got
turn
this!
now. Pikachu, throw him off with quick attack. Everyone else, back him up.
Nice, nice, nice! Oh, come on, come on!
Great job. Now, Thunderbolt.
Pikachu!
Don't get ahead of yourself. You forgot about my face down card. Rise!
Face down card! Whoa! Nice! Nice one!
Oh, I get it.
Thank you,
Good thing
buddy.
we brought them all, right, Pikachu?
What do you mean, them all?
Oh! Charge!
I choose you!
Nice! Nice! Oh! Oh! Oh no! Nice! Nice! I'm a poison award! Yes! I got lucky for that one! I'll keep it in! Use the music! And out of the bell! That's a break! Whoa! Oh, the sun!
Aha!
What's going on? What's going on? No! No! Nice, nice! Oh! Oh, he's good! Oh, no! He's gonna switch! Oh, you guys switch! Yeah, there we go! There we go! Nice, nice! Oh, my one-way ninja! Come on, my ninja, you got this! Oh! Okay, okay!
I'm sorry, partner. Don't worry. It's my turn now.
Look, oh!
I just need to believe in the heart of the cards.
This is... Oh, Dark Witches in Dark Vision, go!
Who's that Pokemon?
Araxi! Goddess of light!
No!
This is it! Magicians! Flash burning magic! Araxi! Choose her!
Oh, oh! Come on, come on! Dude, I'm legit, I'm gonna win this, dude! I'm much proud right now, this is intense!
Pikachu, let's finish this. Together!
Oh, here we go! Nice! Come on!
You activated my trap card!
No, oh, oh!
Cylinder! With it, I'll send your Thunderbolt back to attack your light points directly!
No! God, dang! Oh!
That was an awesome duel, Ash.
Wow! Yeah!
Oh, My childhood.
no,
Whiz, quick,
ever
I need your
since-
tears. We can
Oh,
save him.
dude,
There's a lot to this, so let's break it down by experience, strategy, and monsters. Starting with experience. Both Ash and Yugi have risen to the top, beating
Wow,
the best
dude,
of
that
the
was...
best, and traveled all over the world.
But Ash traveled more, was in more
Wow.
journeys, and saved the world way more often. And despite what people say, he was alive.
Even a 10 stint as the Pharaoh doesn't tip the scale since he wasn't in charge for very long. Plus, Pokemon evolve over time, literally and figuratively. While Yugi's deck is obviously adjustable, the cards often change, unable to grow like Ash's Pokemon.
So Ash wins in experience, but when it comes to strategy, he's a wild card.
He's skilled at improvisation and using the environment to win. Even machines cannot comprehend his tactics.
But the same goes for Yugi. Gotta remember, Yugi and Atem's teamwork is second to none. They're masters at exploiting weaknesses, setting up tricks, and surprising foes with so-called weak cards.
Both could likely adjust to each other's unpredictability, so a Dark Horse-style win was unlikely.
But Ash's secret weapon is his bond with his Pokemon, boosting their power. I'm not just talking about Pikachu. His power of friendship invented an evolution for Greninja. That's crazy. Ash's trust in his Pokemon knows no limits.
Silly as it may sound, Yugi trusts his deck in the same way. The heart of the cards is real, and Yugi is determined to support his monsters with spells, traps, and buffs. Look at his games with American Paradox, where he bolstered his weaker cards to take down gods. With Ba and Ka, his bonds with his cards manifest them into reality. Not so dissimilar from Ash Greninja.
Yeah, Ash has aura, but he never mastered it. And specialties like Mega Evolution and Gigantamax, while awesome, only work with specific Pokemon.
And since Ash focuses on offense far more than support, Yugi could control the pace of the fight with cards like Swords of Revealing Light and Magic Cylinder.
But I know some of you are asking, what if Ash threw hands? The kid's strong enough to chug trees and lift baby gods. Just punch him, man. Well, Yugi's similarly tough, and the Millennium Puzzle can make shields, steal ghosts, cast illusions, and mess with minds. If Ash actually tried to punch him, it'd be Mewtwo all over again.
It's a close call, but Yugi takes the edge in strategy.
So it all comes down to the monsters. Yugi had a slightly larger pool of monsters, but Ash's can clear out island-wide storms, fight terraforming beasts, and are stronger than the black hole summoning Gardevoir.
However, Yugi's can rain down meteors, compete with larger black holes, and even the mid-tier scale to glow Neos, destroying that relativity field with a universe. And Herakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's whole multiverse, surpassing even Solgaleo's Sunsteel Strike and Dialga's Roar of Time.
And Yugi had more than just monsters on the field. Ash's strength was also his weakness. His power was evenly spread, reliant only on his remaining Pokemon.
If Mr. Mime faints, no more Psychic Barriers. If he lost Lucario, no more Mega Evolution. And so on. The longer the battle went, the less Pokemon Ash had. And he did not have a reliable way to bring them back. He doesn't carry revives on him, and even then, reviving Pokemon in the anime is entirely different from the games. Meanwhile, Yugi had cards like Mirage Ruler and Monster Reborn that could instantly recall powers he's lost.
Like you said,
he can, bend fate to draw whatever card he wants. And we didn't even cover them all. Really, Yugi's deck has no pathetic cards.
Exactly. Yugi's versatility and power swept Ash's options, giving his monsters the lead. He just needed the right moment to knock Ash stone cold.
That was a good attempt at a fun whiz. You might not think it's Pharaoh, but Ash got Yugi owned.
The winner is Yugi Moto.
Huh? Thanks for watching. More fights for coming. So we'll be back with even more. Stay tuned for
Death Battle will be back in 2026. But right now, you can check out our brand new channel. It's called Nightly Brew, and we're playing Dungeons & Dragons, Blood on the Clock Tower, and other games that'll probably blow up in our face. So check it out right now, and make sure to subscribe. Thanks.
So it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Nice. Wow. This season of Death Battle was probably one of my best seasons. One of the best seasons so far. This season has been great, especially for the Death Battle between Maki and Ruby. I still think that Death Battle is one of my favorite Death Battles. I would put my top 3 favorite Death Battles. Definitely Maki versus Ruby. Second is Basil versus Eggman. And third, probably Jono versus Joker. And after being honorable mentions, I think honorable mention will go with Deku versus Miles and Kratos versus Asura Wrath. Oh, dude. That was a great Death Battle. That was an amazing Death Battle. I was on my edge of my seat. I was edge on my video I'm recording right now. Well, that was a great battle. That was a great battle. And they confirm more death battle. It's on its way. And then once again, take the time, because once again, you guys know death battle does take some time, ladies, and for preparation, the animation, and the music as well, ladies. And take your time, death battle. We'll be waiting for who's gonna be the next opponent for the next death battle season, ladies and gentlemen. And that, ladies, was my reaction for Ash Ketchum versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Death Battle for the season finale. How you guys feel about this season so far? Leave in comments below, ladies. What you guys favorite death battle this season? Leave in comments below as well, ladies. What can ladies I know and first tip launch rightful on those days. The revealing of Ash versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Will be in the description below, ladies and gentlemen. Make guys like, subscribe, like my other videos. And I'll see you guys in the next death battle. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. If I would give this death battle, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. This death battle season has been peak and peak over and over again, and I cannot wait to see the next death battle. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.